This meeting is being recorded.
Good morning, Facebook. Wake up, everybody. Welcome to the Wake Up Everybody community. I'm so glad to see you here this morning. My name is Tanine Harmony, and I will be facilitating Pay Yourself First, 3 strategies to prioritize what's important to you. I look forward to meeting with you. Grab some water, grab some tissue. If you have a device that you can take some notes, a pen, a pad, so we can get started shortly. Good morning. Good morning. How's everybody doing?
Good morning, Tanine. How you doing this morning?
I'm blessed. Glad to see everybody. Again, my name is Tanine Harmony. I'm your facilitator this morning at the Woo community, and we're going to talk about paying yourself first, 3 strategies to prioritize what's important to you. Grab some tissue, maybe some water, a pen and a paper, so we can get started.
Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. It's time to get up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. It's time to get up. We're healing, we're dealing, we're growing. Together, releasing. We're teaching, we're moving. Together, we're learning, discerning. We're striving. Together, we're leading, connecting, transforming. Together.
Good morning. Good morning. So glad to see everyone this morning. Again, my name is Tanine, and I'm here to bring you a very important topic: the pay yourself first. 3 strategies to create what you really want. So, pay yourself first is a concept that I came up with, and it comes from how when we get our wages, the government, they take their wages off the top. And then we also invest our funds. Sometimes we're taught to invest 10%, 15% of our funds. So today we're talking about how you can pay yourself first in time. So we're not talking about budgets, we're talking about time. And the mindset around this topic is that we would say to ourselves, there are things that are important to us, and we want to make sure before we leave this earth that we take our time to schedule the things that are important to us. It can be something creative, it can be a business, education. So the mindset around that is to take a moment and think about what's important to me. We have demands, we have responsibilities, we have other people that we take care of, but this is a focus inward on self. So this is where the pay yourself concept comes in. And please allow me to share my story with you, one of my stories actually. A few years ago, about 5 years ago, I was in breakdown. My body physically broke down from anxiety episodes, attacks, high blood pressure spikes. I was hospitalized for about 4 days. And my pressure went up one day when I was in Long Island. I was in the supermarket getting some food so I can go to the doctor because I didn't feel well. And during that time, I started having stroke like symptoms that I didn't know what it was, but I was very angry and emotional because I was going through like a traumatic breakup all at that same time. And the person I was breaking up with was actually in the hospital at the same time. And that triggered everything. And I tell you this story to say, I got into the ambulance and my pressure was 190 over 212. And that's really high. Get to the hospital, they take every test, they do everything, they give me medication to bring my pressure down, but they don't find anything wrong with me. I don't have heart disease, I didn't have a stroke. I stayed there for 4 days, and what I realized just recently is I was in breakdown because my life was in chaos, and my life was in chaos, which actually led to my purification. But I got to that place because I stopped paying attention to my life. I stopped examining my life. I got distracted on so many things. And this is how the pay yourself in time concept came about, because I had to think about what's important to Tanine, what's important to me. What is that thing that I need to develop? What is that thing that I need to create that's important to me? So I had to create some boundaries and move everyone and everything out of that space and set some time aside to really sit with myself and reflect on what's important to me. And I'm calling you to action today to actually reflect on those things within your own life, because life is both ebb and flow. We have a short amount of time here, but what's important to us is really important, and it may be connected to purpose. And in my own experience, I realized one of the things that was important to me was to develop myself so I could develop my company, because I love supporting people and coaching people, and that's a big part of my purpose. And when I wasn't doing that, I was depressed. So today we're talking about paying yourself first in time. And I want to share 3 strategies with you that worked for me on how you do that. Now, this is a variable of the budget your time, where you learn how to budget your time and pay yourself first. So, again, in summary, paying yourself first means that you're going to take all of your responsibilities, put them to the side, and you're going to reflect on what's important to you. And whatever that thing is, it may be 1 or 2 things, you're going to put that on your schedule first and work everything else around that. I would like to know, does anyone get that concept? You're paying yourself first. Usually we put everything else on our calendar and then we put ourselves at the end. This tool, you're going to put yourself first, whatever that thing is that's important to you, and then everything else has to work around it because it's that thing that you need. Any questions, any feedback before I move forward?
So I'm looking for someone to come off mute and share if you put yourself first and budget or time, I should say money or time. And I'll admit that I do not.
Tell me a little bit more, Kenyoko.
Well, it does seem like things need precedence and that I can wait until the goal is that I will get straight in all areas and then I can put myself first. And it's not intentional that I'm not literally wanting to put myself last, but I do want to be responsible.
Yes. How about if we take that same thought? Thank you for sharing that, and say, I am responsible, because you are, and putting this thing that's important to me up there with those other things is still balancing those responsibilities, not sacrificing one for the other, but finding a way to create space for that thing that's important to you.
Okay.
It's a mindset. It's a mindset shift. I know with women, we're taught to take care and Um, we're caretakers culturally, and even just the way that we're made up biologically. And I want us to continue to care for people, but to care for ourselves first, fill ourselves up, fill our cups up, and then we can care for other people. And I'm aware that there's different circumstances, right? You have people who are retired, people who are working full time. We have entrepreneurs, we have caretakers here, people who take care of sick people, elderly people. The list goes on in respect to those different things that we are responsible for. People have young children, and some children are disabled. So it varies what we have to do. And sometimes it takes a lot of mental, emotional, just energy to do those things. But if we shift our minds, if we shift in this area and say, I'm going to do this for me and really just be unapologetic, we will have the time, we will have the energy, and we'll also have the support that we need to do those things, because not to do it is really detrimental. So it's something that's important. And I want you to just take a moment and think about, what are those things that are important to you? If you can drop something in the chat, maybe in the area of finances, relationships, health. Um, for me, it's creative. I need to be creative. I have to be creative for the rest of my life. Um, Anything in the chat, anyone would like to share? Maybe one thing that's important to you that you want to carve out space for in your life? Okay. I see Jacqueline
So,
shared.
I'll read it.
Thank you.
So Jacqueline says, I was like Kim Yofu until recently. I would do all the other things first, then say to myself that I would reward myself by putting that most desired thing last. I experienced burnout. Now I do what's most important to me first. What's most important to you, Jacqueline? And Teresa's hand is up. So the question on the table right now, Teresa, is what is most important to you in terms of your self, your personal desire?
um, Doing self-care at a different level, and I started creating art, and so it was very refreshing. It just came to me like last week to start doing some art, and like to put my feelings out in art, and I created a piece day before yesterday, and it's beautiful. And so I'm gonna do another one today. So I have like 12 what you call it, 12 art, what you call it, I forgot what they call it, but 12 canvases. So I'm gonna create 12 pieces.
Nice.
And it was very good. It was very releasing because I talked about stuff and then I put down solutions also on the paint. So it's really nice. So I'm excited about launching. I have to buy some more, to buy some stuff to put over it to make it to set the paint. But
Thank you, Teresa.
I have not felt
Yeah.
so refreshing like that in a while. Doing something,
Thank
passionate
you.
that I like to do.
Thank you for sharing that.
I want to, Jacqueline just dropped in. I wanted to finish her comment.
Okay.
And she says, what's important to me is travel, my self-care, my life's project, my book, business, relationships, finances. Nice list.
Nice.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that, Jacqueline. What comes to mind is setting aside time. So the first strategy that I'm going to share with you is to actually pull out your calendar, right? Whatever device you use, whatever tool you use, and actually set aside time every week to plan. Set aside focus time. And focus time, there's nothing else happening. There's no cell phones. Whoever needs anything, those needs are on hold. I would say set aside maybe 2 hours of focus time, and you will find that you will get so much done. And in that focus time, what you're doing is you're reflecting, you're strategizing, you're planning. Everything that Jacqueline put in the chat, everything that Teresa said about the 12 canvases, you're actually making space for those things when you set aside time. So the strategy is, I know there's something that I want to do, and it really is important to me, and I'm going to make this happen. But in order for me to make this happen, the first thing I need to do is set aside time to put myself on my calendar. That's how you pay yourself first. And have this time where I'm sitting, brainstorming, focusing, but I'm also looking at what my life looks like now. So, how am I budgeting my time? How am I allocating time? Right? So, you can do a deep dive in this area where you talk about your relationship with time, like how you relate to time based on historical experiences and even current experiences. The work is a little bit deeper because the way that we show up today is in part how we were really raised and some of the messages that we received growing up. So, really doing a deep dive. So, strategy number one is making a decision to set aside time every week to focus. And I would say during that time, everything that you want to do can be done if you plan it. You know, if you look at the calendar, you look at holidays, you look at birthdays, you look at the things that are important to you. Sometimes we have, I have a regular Monday through Friday schedule, and I also run a company. So I have time where Monday through Friday is the same thing. So I plan around that because that's static, but I look at the places where I can get things done. Saturdays, Sundays, evenings, vacation days. So start to think about, I do have the time, but how am I spending the time? And you'll find that you can shift some things, you can make some adjustments. And strategy number one, again, is taking time to plan time. And then strategy number two is putting what you want to do on your calendar, putting it on your calendar. So now you're taking another step. It's saying, you know what, this is going to happen. I recently decided that I wanted to specialize in finance. And I said, well, how am I going to do that? And what I learned is that once I made the decision, everything I needed came to support me. I told my friends, I told my family, I let them know I won't be able to do a lot of things because I need to focus on this. I pulled out my calendar and said, okay, it's starting this date, this is orientation. And I made a promise to myself that this year I could not take on extra things. So there's boundaries involved. So, step number two, think about what you want to do, what's a priority to you, add it to your calendar, let people know. You need support, you need accountability, um, and really just get into that thing and then schedule it. I like that Teresa shared that she had an emotional reaction to painting. Think about the story that I shared about the breakdown, right? And thank God I'm here and everything is fine. But we don't have to break down. Breakdowns lead to purification, but we don't necessarily have to break down. So think about how when you pay yourself first, you're actually adding to your health. It's healthy to really take care of you. Um, I see in the chat.
Yes, I can read it.
Yes, thank you.
Jacqueline adds, it makes sense. My travel plans have been haphazard, spur of the moment with mad rush. And then she says, I use the calendar for everything else but my travel and self-care.
You use the calendar for everything else except for those two things. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes.
Okay. So hearing this information, Jacqueline, will you now add travel and self-care to your calendar? Got it.
She
She
says,
said,
absolutely.
absolutely. Thank you. Is there anything on Facebook? Any shares before I move on?
I think if they were, Charmaine would have dropped them in. She might be in the process of doing that now.
Perfect.
Yeah. She's
Yeah, I am. I'm in the process of dropping some stuff down, but I can share that sis Glennis, she shared that she tries to schedule a monthly massage and a sauna session,
Mm,
and that she loved Teresa's share, and I'm complete.
thank you. That sounds
You're
good.
You know what, Tanine? I need to retract on what I said before. I don't know. I think one of the things that's on my calendar, and it has been on my calendar for the past 3 or 4 months, and I've been holding true to it, is swimming. So
Mm,
I'm going from once a week swimming to twice a week swimming, and that's important to me. And today the center is closed, so I'm gonna go tomorrow and another day. But I did not think about that because it's become so commonplace that it doesn't feel like something I need to think about to do. I just do it.
mm. And there was a starting point. So at some point, you made a decision. I'm going to swim, but regularly. This is something you enjoy. Maybe it's connected to health. So you made that decision, but it's on your calendar. You schedule it in.
It is. It is on my calendar.
Nice. Perfect. And that's the mindset. It's like it's that thing that's important to you. One of the things that's important to me, and it became really important to me last year, was rest. Oh my goodness. I needed so much rest. I needed sleep. I needed rest. I needed silence. And I gave myself permission to just move away from things. I love my bed. I think my bed loves me, but I needed rest in order to just rejuvenate and to revive myself. And sometimes it can be hard to move away because there's so many demands and so much information, and so many distractions. And rest was a big, big deal for me. So I want you to just think outside of things to do. It may be something that you need internally. Maybe you want to develop a skill, or maybe you want to develop yourself on a personal level. It still requires your time. It still requires that you set aside that time for yourself, you know? So we have strategy number one: plan your time, set aside some time. You can start today, you know. And number two, prioritize. Think about how you're spending your time, why you're spending your time the way you are, and really just get in there and add something to your calendar or continue what you're doing. Or maybe you want more of something. Maybe you're doing something, but you want a little bit more of it. So think in terms of what do I want more of and what's a priority? And number three is to execute. Kinyofu, she's already executing. Jacqueline, I hear you're doing a lot of things that is important to you, and you're going to add self care and travel to your calendar. Execute. We can plan, we can set aside time, and we can have a lot of thoughts and organize things mentally, but if we don't execute it, it will not happen. So those are the three strategies that I wanted to share with you. There's so much information to unpack when it comes to this topic, because when you're doing this work, you're thinking about, you're being mindful of common distractions, people, places, and things that are either in alignment with you or not in alignment with you. And you're really just shifting relationships and the intimacy of them in order to really get to where you want to be in life. So there's a lot involved. There's a lot involved when you're thinking about paying yourself first, because it's a mindset shift. You're shifting your mind on you first, and then other people, other things, other places. And you're saying, this is paramount. That massage and the sauna, I'm like, that's something that I want to do, that I've been thinking about. So when I leave here, it's like, okay, that I'm going to sit down and say, how can I make it a point to get massages once a month? That's where the money part comes in at, and the planning. So looking at the calendar, when can I get massages? How much do they cost? And just factoring all of that. And really, one of the big takeaways I would like for you to take away is when we make commitments to ourselves, um, to really stay in integrity with ourselves and honor our word. That is so important, that what we say we want for ourselves, that we commit to it. That is really, really important on so many levels, spiritually, mentally, physically. Keeping our word to ourselves is paramount. So if there was a takeaway, that would be one of the things that I would like for you to take away, to stay in integrity with yourself. And you know what that requires? Examining. I started off today letting you know that I stopped examining my life, and I was in breakdown because of it. I stopped paying attention to my own life, meaning I was everywhere outside of myself instead of internally. And when I realized what happened, it was just like, you can never do that again. That is not a great place to be. So, monitoring our thoughts, our behaviors, our habits, and that's something you could plan also. I plan time to really reflect. How am I living? How am I doing? What's my attitude like? Could I have done something better? Is there someone that I need to apologize to? Like it opens up when you're examining your life, because I want to be healthy. I want to be healthy and I want to be satisfied. And the point of this conversation is that we can really live the life that we create for ourselves and be satisfied with it. Any questions, comments?
Sister,
Yes, Sister Teresa, I just wanted to tell you, thank you for this conversation because I've been working on doing stuff for myself. So it just helps, to reinforce it. And I'm definitely going to put um, this on the calendar. And I already came up with an idea how to do the paintings. Thank you very much. Appreciate you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Anyone else?
Jacqueline put it in the, yeah, Jacqueline put in the chat. Just says I need to print out a daily agenda. I had a schedule for myself, but it did not work because I left all the other stuff out and I would ignore my schedule.
Nice. Thank you for sharing that. I have a program. I created like a lot of different tools that you can use. And part of it is actually the time that you're using to plan, you're merging all of your calendars. You're automating your time. There's things that happen every year at the same time that are important to you. So when you automate it, it's already there, it's already blocked out. And then you're merging everything: work calendar, personal calendar. Your kids may have a calendar. There's a calendar for everything, but everything is in one place on one sheet to make it simple. And again, it's a dynamic document, it's not static. So it changes over time, but at least you have something where you can go to. And we're going to show you the time budget tool that you can actually take with you today. You have something that you can go to and say, oh, this is what I'm doing today. But it's on one sheet. It makes life so simple. But you can only get to that one sheet when you set aside time and put all of your stuff together. That's why I said at least 2 hours a week. These are things that I do. It actually works. And it makes me feel, because we have to think about the emotional impact of our choices, right? The way that I feel when I have this sheet, I feel like I have more control over what I can control. So I feel like I have more control over me, right? And I like that. I like to feel that because I'm responsible for my life, that I have a sense of control. And it also helps me to stay in integrity, to keep my word, to to be trustworthy to other people, because if I commit to something, I like to keep my commitments. But without that, I may overbook. I may forget. I forget everything. I forget everything. But I don't forget to look at that sheet. So that's what helps me. But I want you to find something that works for you, because we're all wired different, right? Um, but I'm going to ask Kinyofu to show the time budget tool and then drop it in the chat. So this tool is the starting point. This is the first tool. So you'll see on the top, thank you, Kinyofu. There's a line, you would just put your name on it. We have the days of the week, and then we have time slots. And what I do is I add everything on here. But these are blocks of time. So Monday through Friday, I work. I put my work schedule. If you see like the 1 a.m., 12 a.m., 11 a.m., no, like 12 a.m. to 5 a.m., most people are asleep at that time. So I put sleep in those boxes because everything has to be filled in. This is a zero-based time budget. There should be nothing blank. So we sleep usually, right? Monday through Friday. Saturdays and Sunday may look a little different. Also, you can add your travel time because you want to be really specific about how you're allocating your time. I travel between 5 a.m. and 6 a.m. And then I travel again between 3 and 4 p.m. And then I have business days. So I put my business days there. You can put your chores, your laundry. If you go to church, Kinyofu has swimming classes. And again, this is a document that's dynamic, it's not static. So you just want to get a view of what's there, right? Leisure is important to me. I have to have a do nothing schedule. Leisure is so important. So what this gives me is when I can see what my life looks like, I get to have more fun. I get to have more fun because I get more done in less time and it's more efficient because I scheduled it in and I can give my full presence and concentration to the things that need my attention. So we're going to drop this in the chat for you. And once it's in the chat, you can make a copy of it, rename it, and then you can make it your own so you can fill it in for yourself. Any questions around this?
All right, so Charmaine, I'm asking you if you could drop it. You have access, easier access than I do right now. And once you do that, Tanine and I can discuss or answer any questions you have about making a copy for yourself. Because right now, it'll just be a document that, but if when you make a copy, then it's something you can actually type in. So, Charmaine, do you have that link?
Yeah, I'm doing it now.
Okay.
If you have any questions about anything else pertaining to this topic, any like specific questions, you can put it in the chat or unmute. Thank you.
So it's in the chat. So click it. It'll take you to another browser on your computer, and it will open up here. So I don't see anybody in the document yet. This is it's a Google Doc. All right, so somebody's here, great. And that means I know that it's working. 2 people are here. You're going to see it, but you're not going to be able to change it yet. I want you to make a copy of it. So I'm going to show you how to do that. If you don't know how to do it already, go to File, right here in the left, click on the word File, come down here, make a copy, click on Make Copy. And it's going to say copy of blank timesheet budget. That's fine, or you can rename it and say, you know, take out the copy of and put your name. And I'll do that. And then it's going to go to your, well, it's going to my drive. I'm assuming it's going to go to your drive also, which is the main drive inside of Google, your Google Drive, and then you will make a copy. You make a copy, it'll now take you to yours, Kinyofu blank time budget doc. See, now it's mine. And now I can type in it. And then you'll be able to do the same thing.
Perfect. Thank you for that.
Excuse me, can you tell me the name of this thing where you could type in like that? What is the name of this one? What is it called? I know it's a Google Doc, but I never seen a Google Doc like that where you could type in it like that. Or the way
Yes,
it looks.
all Google Docs you can type in, and that's a whole Google training. But this
Oh, okay.
document is what Tanine created. So she designed it so that you can access it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, the link will be shared on Facebook if not already, Jacqueline.
You can also.
Sure.
Jackie, I'll send it to you.
Okay.
Thank you. Anyone has any questions or feedback? Anything that you got for yourself today?
All right, so as no one is volunteering, oh, there goes Abimbola. There you go. Abimbola?
I'm in both.
Yes. Okay. Wait a minute. Yes. This is very good. And I remember when I was around 18 years old, just on another level that you say pay yourself. When I was 18 years old and getting ready to graduate, 17, graduate from high school, and my aunt, bless her soul, told me about paying yourself and what it came back to me. Even in terms of when I got my first job. And so she said, if you make $5, you pay yourself $2. And that concept was for saving. And I learned at an early age to put away money. When I got paid, I always put money aside. And I ended up with a savings. So I just wanted to introduce that concept also in terms of paying yourself with your time, but you can also transfer that to saving money.
Yeah.
And I'm complete.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Thank you for adding to the conversation. That is also a part of this conversation. The mindset is that you pay yourself first. Again, the IRS gets theirs off the top, right? We pay taxes. And then we're taught to invest. We're taught to have retirement accounts, emergency funds, savings, right? Where we take a percentage of our income and put it to the side. And that's a mentality that we're taking care of ourselves first, and then we're going to work the rest, whether it's 90% or 80%. The same with money, it's the same with your time. When we have our time in order and when we budget it and allocate it, it actually cascades into taking care of our money also because we make different decisions. When I started getting a little bit more strategic about my time, when I started getting more focused on my money, I had to shift how I spent my time because whenever you walk out the house, you spend money. Whenever you walk out the door, you're spending money. So I had to get really strategic about how I spend my time, budget my time, and just really get a little bit more disciplined with that so I can meet my money goals. Thank you for that. So again, this is the pay yourself first, 3 strategies to prioritize what's important to you. It is my hope that you will think about the things in your life that are a priority as you plan to set aside time for yourself to think about those things, as you actually add it to your calendar, which is number 2. And then number 3, as you execute it, that you put it into play so you can start creating the life that you want and see for yourself. This is my time. Thank you for having me, Woo community. I look forward to being your facilitator again. And I just hope that you got something that you needed for yourself today and that you continue to think about this and pass it on to someone else. Today, I have a special offer for you. I have a program, it's a Budget Your Time intensive. And within this intensive, we're going to just do a deep dive into paying yourself first in time, discovering your relationship with time, automating your time, and a lot of different tips and tools and strategies to help you just really get to the things that matter most to you. The price for this intensive is $697. It is a 3-week intensive. And today it's at a discount for the Woo community, $300 discount for the next 7 days. And that will bring it to $397. And for the first 3 people who register, you will receive not only the discount, but a bonus gift. Now, the bonus gift will expire within 3 days, this week on the 19th. And the payment link is there. If you're interested, you can get more details once you click on the link. And if you have any questions, you can also contact me. Again, this is an intensive, and we're going to take a deep dive into budgeting your time, paying yourself first, automating your time, and really going deep into your relationship with time, your historical relationship, and also your current relationship, to see how you relate to time. And if there's any blocks and barriers there that you can overcome to get you to what you want in life. Thank you. Here's my contact information, Facebook, Instagram. I'm going live today. I'm going to go live every Monday on Facebook. And I'm talking about strategies to maximize your moment. So that ties into this topic also, just how we can maximize our moment professionally and personally. So join me live. That's my information there.
Thank you, Tanine.
Thank you.
And so to the community, this here is available for you to support. So you have 4 options right here. You can choose the money that works for you, $25 a month, $50 a month, $75 a month, or $100 a month, whatever works with your budget. If a number is not on here that you would like to commit to, just let us know and we will create a link for you. So these links will be dropped in the chat. If you're not already on this monthly or love offering automated process, you can start right now. It's never too late, and you'll be good, and you'll know that you'll be supporting Woo.
Okay, so coming up next, we have join us on Tuesday, which is tomorrow, January 17th, for Alignment with Desires of the Soul, facilitated by Shanalei Mejia and John Carl Martin. And then on Wednesday, join us January 18th for the non-negotiables of your greatest yet to be, facilitated by Amelia Blake.
Amelia
Blake. Perfect.
Thank you. So if there are any new members in this space, whether you're on Zoom or Facebook, let us know. Just drop in the chat or the comment section, I'm new, and we will gather around you to welcome you. And not only welcome you, but invite you to come back. So we are here 5 days a week, 7 to 8:30, and in the morning, and on Monday and Wednesday, our short days, we're here from 7 to 7:30 in the morning. Here, meaning live on Zoom and live on Facebook. If you want to receive a message on your text in the morning, about 6:30, to say, this is who's presenting on Woo today, and this is the link, then you could join our automated text alert system. If you haven't done it already, you can start it right now. Open up a blank text, type in 74121, and instant the telephone number section, and then in the comment section, type in Woo Nation and press send. And there you'll have it. 6:30, you'll begin to receive messages. We have swag. So if you want to represent Woo, you can go to bit.ly/Woo swag. Get something. And you have many somethings to choose from that will have Woo and some message on it that, just imagine that you are walking around the office or the park or inviting people into your home, and then they see these beautiful items and they're like, well, what's this? And you can share and then invite them into Woo. So we have candles and cups and mugs and journals and sweatshirts and t-shirts and masks, leggings and caps and so many things. So go to bit.ly/Woo Swag to see you can get for you or for others. And we want to thank you and stay in touch. You would want to register weekly in order to get the weekly lineup. Go to bit.ly/Wake Up Movement, get on our email list. We have 2 Facebook pages. You want to go to bit.ly/Woo Community in order to be a part of the private community, the page where we are streaming live now. And there you can catch all of our replays. And you can go to bit.ly/Woo Nation. Woo Nation is uppercase so that you can like and share that page. We're on Instagram and we're on YouTube. The links are dropped in the chat. If you want to share something with us, go to our email, info.wakeupseries@gmail.com. So I am complete with this slide. I'm taking it down and I'm going to ask everyone to come off of mute and share love, shower, appreciation for Tanine and this great topic that's going to move us forward.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. It's very important information.
Excellent work.
Thank you, Tanine, for this great
Excellent
Thank you
presentation.
so very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
God bless.
Let's move forward, everybody.
Yes.
And let's continue to be magical and co-create.
Yes.
Thank you, beautiful. I appreciate your kindness for sharing this awesome
And
work.
remember, time is your precious
Thank you so
commodity.
much. Yes, thank you so much. Appreciate you. Good to see some of y'all.